Already, the semifinals, the Final Four. Forget the Final Four. The Fantastic Four are left. Yes, and we've got two teams. One of them will move on to the final. A lot of pressure on you. What do you think, Red Raiders of Lowville? Oh, the Vikings of Thousand Islands look ready. Hey, and you look ready to meet too. Welcome to Whiz Quiz.
Production funding for Whiz Quiz is provided by Jefferson Lewis Boces, St. Lawrence Lewis Boces, Jefferson Community College, Samaritan Medical Center, the Northern New York Community Foundation, St. Lawrence Federal Credit Union, and Front Porch Realty. Additional funding is provided in part by the Adirondack Experience, the View Center for Arts and Culture, IBEW Local 910, and O'Reilly Auto Parts of Watertown and Carthage. Scholarships for winning Whiz Quiz teams are provided in part by National Grid, Stewart's Shops, New York Air Brake, Iroquois, and the following fraternal and civic organizations.
Once again, welcome to Whiz Quiz. I'm your host, Mel Bustler. It is a pleasure to be with you this evening, and we're into the semifinal round. Yeah, a lot on the line. The winner will move on to the final. We'll find out how it shakes out over the next half hour. We're going to meet the teams in just a moment, but first, let me welcome you folks who support public television. Even if you're just a casual viewer and you like to tune in every so often, thank you for tuning in to this show and not only supporting public television, but also these fine students around the area. Alrighty, we're going to begin with Lowville. We're going to begin with Braden. Give me your first and last name and tell me a little bit about yourself.
Hi, I'm Braden Gillette. I'm a senior. This is my third year Whiz Quiz, and I play men's hockey.
Very good. Nice. Next to Braden is Josh. Hi, Josh.
Hi, I'm Josh Weiler. This is my first year in Whiz Quiz. I'm a senior, and I play the piano.
Ooh, very nice. I wish I could do that. Anthony, how you doing?
Hi, I'm Anthony LaPuma. I'm a senior. This is my first year doing Whiz Quiz, and I play the cello.
The cello. Excellent. Ira.
Hi, my name is Ira Blavel. I'm a junior. This is my second year on Whiz Quiz, and I play the clarinet.
Very good. I can just play the radio. I turn it on, turn it off. Alrighty, we move over to Thousand Islands. We'll begin with Katie. Hi, Katie.
Hi, my name is Katie Rose. I'm a sophomore at TI. This is my first year on Whiz Quiz, and my favorite cereal is Corn Pops.
Very good. Next to Katie is Seth. Hi,
Hello. My name is Seth Haas. I'm a junior at TI. This is my second year at Whiz Quiz, and my favorite cereal is Cheerios.
Cheerios. Annabelle.
Hi, my name's Annabelle. I'm a junior at TI. This is my third year on Whiz Quiz, and my favorite cereal is Frosted Flakes.
Ooh, Frosted Flakes. Very good choice. Last but not least, James.
Hi, my name is James Connerton. I'm a senior. This is my second year on Whiz Quiz, and my favorite cereal is Golden Grams.
Very good. Thank you very much. By the way, you folks, you know you couldn't be here without your advisors. Am I correct? And it's nice that you brought them along with you this evening once again. First off, from Lowville, Jackson Hyde. Raise the roof. And from Thousand Islands, Melissa Balk is with us. Yes. Very good. Let's move right into our first round with Smart Start. Smart Start. The teams are individually asked questions. The other team cannot answer the question. 5 seconds are given to teammates to consult with each other and ring in to give an answer. There's no penalty for a wrong answer. Questions are worth 10 points each. Good luck. We're going to begin with Lowville. We'll begin with a history question. What temple honored Athena in Athens? Braden, Lowville.
The Parthenon?
That is correct. Alrighty, we move over to Thousand Islands history question. What language was used throughout the Roman Empire? Seth, Thousand Islands.
Latin.
Latin is correct. Alrighty. Back to Loudville. Arts question. In music theory, what is the distance between two pitches called? Josh, Loudville.
The interval.
That is correct. Interval. Arts question. We go back to Thousand Islands. What is the interval between the note C and note G called? Time is up. Perfect fifth is what we're looking for. Alrighty, science question. We go back to Loudville. What is a large, flat, grassy area with few trees called? Anthony, Loudville.
A plain.
A plain is correct. Alrighty, back to Thousand Islands. Science question. What landform is surrounded by water on three sides? James, Thousand Islands.
A peninsula.
Peninsula is correct. Alrighty, math question, Loudville. You can pick up your pencils. What is the product of -3 and -7? Ira, Loudville.
21.
21 is correct. Alrighty, math question for Thousand Islands. Simplify. -18 divided by 3. James, Thousand Islands.
-6.
-6 is correct. Alrighty, we go back to Loudville. And here's your history question. What river did British forces use to invade New York at the beginning of the War of 1812? Braden, Loudville.
Hudson River.
That is incorrect. We are looking for Niagara River. Niagara River. Alrighty, history question for Thousand Islands. During the War of 1812, which Canadian port city was vital for British supply lines? James, Thousand Islands.
Kingston.
Kingston is correct. Alrighty, we move to arts. Back to Loudville. What is a short, looped, animated image file format? Josh, Loudville.
A GIF.
That is correct. Alrighty, we go to Thousand Islands. Arts question. What is the name of a pixel-based digital image format that supports transparency? James, Thousand Islands.
A PNG.
That is correct. Alrighty. We go back to science and back to Loudville. What is the most abundant element in the universe? Ira, Loudville.
Hydrogen.
Hydrogen is correct. Science question for Thousand Islands. What is the name of the outermost layer of the sun? Corona. Corona, what we're looking for. Alrighty, Loudville, math question. Pick up your pencils. What percent of 50 is 10? Give your answer in decimal form. Ira, Loudville.
0.2.
That is correct. Very good. Math question for Thousand Islands. Increase 60 by 25%. James, Thousand Islands.
75.
75 is correct. And that is the end of our first round. Let's take a look at the score. We've got a good one brewing. Loudville leads Thousand Islands by a score of 70-60. Now on to round two, one-on-one. Players matched up against corresponding position players on the other team. If a student gets the answer wrong, the opposing student has a chance to answer. No consultation allowed. Questions are worth 10 points each. Alrighty, we're going to begin with Braden and Katie. History, an economic system where individuals own businesses and seek profits is called what? Katie, Thousand Islands.
Stocks.
That is incorrect. Braden?
Market economy.
We are looking for capitalism. Capitalism, what we're looking for. Alrighty, Josh, Seth, arts question. What term describes music with a strong emphasis on the offbeat? Josh, Loudville.
Syncopation.
That is correct. Alrighty, science. We move to Anthony and Annabelle. What phase comes after a new moon? Anthony Louville.
Waxing crescent.
That is correct. Alrighty, math question. We move to Ira and James. How much interest will you earn on $1,200 at 4% for 5 years? Ira Louville.
$48.
That is incorrect, James.
Do I have to buzz in? $150?
No, we're looking for $240. $240. Alrighty, history, we go back to Braden and Katie. Name all 3 branches of the U.S. federal government. Katie, Thousand Islands.
Judicial, executive, and representative.
That is incorrect. Braden.
Executive, judicial, and legislative.
That is correct. Alrighty. Arts question, we move to Josh and Seth. What is the term for a concluding sentence that restates the main idea of a paragraph? Closing sentence is what we're looking for, closing sentence. Science, we go to Anthony and Annabelle. What is the zone below the water table called? Time is up. The saturated zone. Alrighty. Math question, Ira, James. What is the range of 3, 5, 7, 12, 15? Ira, Louville.
12.
12 is correct. Alrighty, history, we move back to Braden and Katie. What nickname is often given to the Korean War in the U.S.? Time is up. The Forgotten War. Forgotten War. Arts question, Josh and Seth. What American author wrote Walden? Time is up. Henry David Thoreau. Science question, Anthony and Annabelle. What type of compound dissolves easily in water? Time is up. Ionic. Ionic, what we're looking for. Math question, we go to Ira and James. What is the unit rate of $12 per 3 pounds? Ira, Louville.
$4 per pound.
That is correct. And that is the end of our second round. Let's take a look at the scoring. And Louville has taken a 120-60 lead on Thousand Islands. Now on to round 3. No and Tell. Show and tell questions are directed at both teams. If a team gets an answer wrong, the other team is permitted to answer. Consultations with team members are allowed. Questions are worth 10 points. The third question in a set is a bonus question that can be answered by either team. Bonus questions are worth 15 points. Good luck. History. Which battle marked the first major American engagement in World War I? Time is up. The Battle of Cantigny. Battle of Cantigny. History question. What was the fortified line of defense built by Germany on the Western Front? Time is up. The Hindenburg Line. Hindenburg Line. History bonus question worth 15 points. Which African American regiment was highly decorated for bravery in France in World War I? Time is up. The Harlem Hellfighters, what we're looking for. Arts question. What music scale consists of 5 notes instead of 7? Josh Louville.
A pentatonic.
That is correct. We move on. Arts. What is the name of a 3-note chord built in thirds? Josh Louville.
A triad.
Triad is correct. Arts bonus question worth 15 points. What is the 6th scale degree in a major key called? Josh Lowville.
The relative minor.
That is incorrect. Thousand Islands. Annabelle.
Major second.
No, we're looking for submediant. Submediant, what we're looking for. All righty, science question. What is the largest bone in the human body? James, Thousand Islands.
The femur.
Femur is correct. Science, what is the name of the joint type found in the shoulder and hip? Ira Lowville.
Ball and socket joint.
Ball and socket is correct. Science bonus question worth 15 points. Which bone is also known as the collarbone? Anthony Lowville.
The clavicle.
Clavicle is correct. Math question, pick up your pencils. Solve for x. 3x plus 5 equals 20. Ira Lowville.
X equals 5.
That is correct. Math question, solve for x. 2x minus 4 equals 3x plus 1. Ira Lowville.
X equals -5.
That is correct. Math bonus question worth 15 points. Solve for x. 4 times the quantity x minus 1 equals 2 times the quantity x plus 5. James, Thousand Islands.
X equals 7.
That is correct. X equals 7. Alrighty, we move to history. What term describes the belief that the U.S. was destined to expand westward? James, Thousand Islands.
Manifest destiny.
That is correct. History question. Which U.S. president is most associated with promoting manifest destiny? Seth, Thousand Islands.
Andrew Jackson.
That is incorrect. Lowville. Braden.
Roosevelt.
No, we're looking for James Polk. James Polk. History bonus question worth 15 points. What was the name of the forced journey of the Cherokee to Oklahoma? Seth, Thousand Islands.
The Trail of Tears.
Trail of Tears is correct. Arts question. What is the digital color model used for screens and web design? James, Thousand Islands.
RGB.
RGB model is correct. Arts question. What is the method of compressing image files without losing quality? Ira Lowville.
Lossless compression.
That is correct. Arts bonus question worth 15 points. What is the term for the number of pixels in a digital image? James, Thousand Islands.
The resolution.
Resolution is correct. Alrighty, that is the end of that round. Let's check the scoring. Lowville leads Thousand Islands by a score of 195 to 135. Well, if you want to go back earlier this year and look at earlier rounds, or maybe even look at some shows from the last number of years, all you have to do is go online to watch.wpbstv.org. It's as simple as that. Now let's move on to round 4. Think fast. Think fast. In this round, either team can answer a question. If your team gets the answer wrong, the other team gets the next question exclusively. Consultation is allowed. Questions are worth 10 points each. History. What treaty gave California to the U.S. in 1848? Braden, Lowville.
Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo.
That is correct. Arts question. Which Harlem Renaissance poet wrote Dreams? Josh Lowville.
Langston Hughes.
That is correct. Langston Hughes. Science question. What kind of tide occurs when Earth, Moon, and Sun are aligned? Ira Lowville.
A leap tide.
Leap tide is not correct. It is spring tide is what we're looking for. Spring tide. That means that Thousand Islands gets an exclusive question. It is a math question. Pick up your pencils and look at the screen. Solve for all values of x. Cosine of x equals 1/2 on the interval from 0 to 2 pi. James, Thousand Islands.
60 degrees.
It is x equals pi over 3 and 5 pi over 3. Alrighty, we move on. History question. What is the Hindu concept of duty or righteousness called? The answer is dharma. Dharma, what we're looking for. Arts question. What is the term for music written in 2 different keys at the same time? Time is up. Polytonality is what we're looking for. Alrighty. Science question. What is a sudden local windstorm with rain called? Time is up. A squall. Squall, what we're looking for. Math question. Find the derivative of log base 10 of x. Ira Lowville.
Natural log of x over natural log of 10.
That is correct. We move on to history. What massive complex of statues was built to guard Emperor Qin's tomb? James, Thousand Islands.
The Terracotta Army.
Terracotta Army is correct. Which 20th century author wrote The Grapes of Wrath? Josh, Lowville.
Steinbeck.
Steinbeck is correct. Science question. What is the name of our moon's first landing site? Sea of Tranquility. Sea of Tranquility. Math question. Find the variance of this data. 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. Time is up. The answer is 8. 8 is what we're looking for. History question. What agreement between Hitler and Stalin made in 1939 promised not to attack each other? Time is up. The Non-Aggression Pact is what we're looking for. Arts question. Which Dutch artist is known for optical illusions and impossible architecture? Time is up. M.C. Escher, what we're looking for. Science. What happens to inertia when mass increases? Ira Lowville.
Inertia increases.
That is correct. This is the last question of this round and the last question of the night. It is a math question. A bag contains 10 marbles, 4 red, 3 blue, and 3 green. What is the probability of drawing either a red or green marble? Simplify your answer. Ira Lowville.
70%.
That is correct. And that is the end of competition for this evening. Let's check the final score. Lowville has defeated Thousand Islands 255 to 145. That means Lowville will be moving on to the finals. Congratulations to Lowville. Well, coming up, the other semifinal on our next show, Messina takes on South Jefferson. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a great night.
Production funding for Whiz Quiz is provided by Jefferson Lewis Boces, St. Lawrence Lewis Boces, Jefferson Community College, Samaritan Medical Center, the Northern New York Community Foundation, St. Lawrence Federal Credit Union, and Front Porch Realty. Additional funding is provided in part by the Adirondack Experience, the View Center for Arts and Culture, IBEW Local 910, and O'Reilly Auto Parts of Watertown and Carthage. Scholarships for winning Whiz Quiz teams are provided in part by National Grid, Stewart's Shops, New York Air Brake, Iroquois, and the following fraternal and civic organizations.